Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. I'd like to welcome Silver Moon LaRose to the stage, Assistant Director of the Town Fog Museum, to do a land acknowledgement.
Good morning. Good morning. Imagine you're in your house, your beautiful house. You're very proud of this house. You took a long time arranging it just so, making it absolutely beautiful. And it's a large home, so you can fit your whole family in there. You enjoy your home, it's beautiful. And then someone comes knocking on your door one day. And when you open that door, there's a gentleman standing before you. And he's looking wore out, a little worse for wear. He's come a long way. He's had to leave the place where he was living because it wasn't safe for him anymore. And he asks if he could come and stay with you. And so it is your values, it's what you've been taught growing up, that you open your home to strangers. You make sure they feel welcome in your home. And so you invite him in. And you become friends with this person. You get to know them better. They get to know about you and the way that you run your household. And you make space for him there. Then one morning you wake up, and you come downstairs, and there's people sitting in your living room. And they're in your favorite chair. And you approach them and you're like, what are you doing in my house? You're sitting in my seat. I use that seat every morning. That's my spot. And then your friend comes in. No, it's okay. They're with me. They're my friends. I can vouch for them. It's okay. They're not going to take up too much space. They also needed a place that was safe. And you have so much room in your house, and you've been so good to me, I thought it would be okay if they were here. And so you say, all right, they can stay. I hope they'll respect my home as you have done. And he says, absolutely, absolutely. But since they're here, can we give them that spare room that you have? No one's using it. And it would give them a place to really be able to spread out a little bit, and then they won't be in your way so much. And so you say, all right, come on. They can stay in that spare room, that's no problem. The next morning you wake up, and you go down to get yourself some breakfast, and there's people in your kitchen, and they're in your cupboards, and they're cooking your food. And you get upset, and there's an altercation, and your friend comes in and says, no, they're with me. It's okay. They're not going to take too much. This is the situation. They needed some help. You gave us that spare room, so we had some extra space. We thought they could move in here too. And since we have to share this space, they're gonna need a place to make their breakfast as well. So if we could just share this kitchen, and you're not thrilled about it, but you understand. And so he says, look, to make you feel better about it, we'll write up an agreement. I'll put it all down in paper, and you'll sign, and it'll be all set. And that will set the rules for how we are going to engage in this space. Well, your friend, he has a different first language than you. So when he writes up this agreement in his language, he's dictating to you what it says, but you trust your friend. And so you sign your signature on that paper, and you go about your day. You're a little frustrated that these people are constantly in your space, but you make room for them. Then the next morning you wake up, and they're in their living room, they're in your chair, they're on the couch, they're in the kitchen, you go in the bathroom, they're in there. And you get so frustrated, and your friend comes out and he says, well, you signed the paper. When you signed the paper, you gave us this space. So we set some rules for this space so that we make sure that we can share it together in a safe and productive way for everybody. And these rules seem to benefit us a little bit more, but that's because we're new to this space and we want to make sure that we're safe here, and you start feeling really upset and really frustrated, and everywhere you go, you're bumping into people that are telling you how to behave in your own home. And by the end of the night, you don't have much more patience left. And you walk into your bedroom just to take a breather, and there's people in your bed, and you lose it. And it's an all-out war in your home. But these people outnumber you now. And you're defeated. And in that defeat, there's only so much that you can do. And so you run to your relative's house next door. And you find out they're having the same problem over there. But they didn't have the strength of number in their family, in their household to fight. So they're all living in the closet now. But you can come and live with them in the closet. And so you join your family with theirs, and you're living in this closet, in this neighborhood that was once your home. And then they start coming to the closet, and they start removing your relatives. And they say, you know, you fought us in that war. It kind of really messed up the house. It's a hot mess. We need some people to come and clean it up. And so they take your relatives out of the closet to work for them. And some of those relatives stay there, and some get sent far away, and you never see them again. And then they start coming for your babies, because they say at a year old, they can start learning how to live with us. And we can teach them how to work for us. And so at just a year old, they're taken, and you may or may not ever see them again. And you work hard to survive within this closet for as long as you can, and then they start knocking on the closet door. And they open it up, and they start taking out the things that they need from your closet, or putting new things in. And so you go to your friends who set up these rules, and you say, we have this one space left. And this is all we've been utilizing for our survival. And people keep infringing upon it. And your friend says, you know what? That's because you really shouldn't even have that space. Because really by this point, you could be living with us as long as you follow all of our rules. And you don't need to have this closet all to yourself, because it really is taking up too much room. And we need space. So they take the closet. And now you're finding a rug to lay on, you're finding a pillow here and there, and you're trying to make any space in this house work for you. Now some of your relatives get fed up with that and they head west. They don't realize that they're coming for the west next. But those of you who stay, you figure out a way to live and survive here. But everything has changed. And when you say, you took our house, they say, well, the best we can do is acknowledge it. So we get a land acknowledgement to let you know that you took our house. But it gives us a space to come and stand here and say, we need to live in this house with you. And we need to be able to survive here. And we don't want to lose everything about who we are in the sharing of this space. So if you can please listen to our voices and find ways that we can work together with you to preserve who we are and our ability to survive within this space, then we can have some equity, we can have some inclusion, we can create access for the next generations, because it's been 400 years of you living in our house. And we want to make sure that we can be here in the next 400 years. So I hope today, as we sit and we share knowledge with one another, you can be thinking about whose house you're sitting in and ways that you can make sure that I still have some space in that house with my relatives. Unimataban, everyone. Good morning. That might not be the greatest way to start the morning, but I hope it's the most thought-provoking. Thank you.